if you've been curious about how this year has been going for me, this is probably the video you should watch. Hi, hello. My name is Mon. Welcome back to this channel. In case you're new here, I did in fact make a planner system video for 2024. And if you watched that, you might have heard me say I might eventually show like a how this has been working type of a video, or like a flip through eventually. And so this is that video. If you've never watched my 2024 planning system video, it's fine. I am gonna recap the system that I thought I was gonna be in, and then I'm gonna go into the long story of everything that happened this year and where I am in terms of planners right now. I was thinking of making a 2025 planner system video, which I might, but that won't be in this video. Anyways, yeah, this is a stack. I am gonna start with the system that I thought I will be in for hopefully the entire of this year, which, spoiler alert, I did not stick to the system. Also, I'm sitting down instead of standing up like I normally would for my desk videos. So I'm gonna have to keep standing up to check if things are in frame, huh? I do apologize for the harsh shadows in this video. I have one overhead light and yeah. Anyways, original system that I thought I would be in, bullet journal, planner, my everything notebook, and my diary / commonplace. This does say 5 and not 4 like it did in the planner system video, because I did start a new book. When? 6th February. Have I finished this? No. I stopped using this like halfway into the book. Yeah. I guess I'll talk about this first. This diary / commonplace book, this one is very much inspired by Rhiannon. It's how I would normally write with a tagging system. The tagging system is what's inspired by Megan. Wait, let me explain what each of this book was supposed to be before I explain what happened. This video is all over the place. I was intending on making a plan for this video and then I didn't, so we're gonna be everywhere. Kind of like how my mind is. This book is what I like to call my everything notebook, which houses a lot more of like long-term stuff like plans. Sometimes it holds video notes. It holds quite a few stuff that I wouldn't want to share. But yeah, to summarize, it is like a long-term planning book. And this planner, I was using this as like a daily log book. Let me see if I can. I might have to blur the screen out, so I apologize for that, because there are a lot of stuff that are in here that I wouldn't want to share. So if the screen is blurred, that's probably why. So I guess kind of like the original plan was for me to daily log on the weekly section and then have my habits and weekly to-do list on the grid section. This was also sort of inspired by Rhiannon's Hobonichi Weeks system. I'm pretty sure she doesn't do this anymore, but yeah, this was what the Hobonichi Weeks system was what inspired this. And then at the back, I was thinking of doing like, I'm gonna have to blur this whole thing. 2024 entitles. That was what the plan was. And then this was my bullet journal for 2024. So here's what happened. In February, I sort of explained this in my journal with me video, my birthday journal with me video. In like end of February, start of March, I wasn't doing so great. And I should have sort of seen this coming. I do this pretty much every year. Anytime I get really overwhelmed, I jump to my B4 loose leaf papers. I have this stack of B4 papers because I used to write school notes in them, and I don't write school notes on them anymore, so I have a stack of paper. I am going to blur this again for privacy purposes, but this is sort of what happened, where I was jumping into... Where is the other one? It started with this. I started brain dumping. Not brain dumping, kind of, yeah. Like, I started using loose leaf papers because being in a bound book kind of overwhelmed me at one point, and having just one piece of loose leaf paper on my table and dumping everything that's in my brain out kind of helped, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain this properly, so this is not a very good video. This happens pretty much every year. I get overwhelmed, I get stressed, and then I jump to loose leaf papers for a while. Because there's no structure to loose leaf papers, and it's one singular paper. And I don't have to look at like other pages at all. And that happened in like February, March, April, where I was starting to slowly dip out of these books and choosing to pick up my loose leaf papers. And then I did some reevaluation of my system. And if you watched my videos from last October, I did this little experiment where I was in a 6-ring binder. It didn't work well because I was trying to use this ring binder the way I used my bound books. I should mention, this experiment started because I was digitally doing a lot of stuff and I wanted to do more analog stuff, and so I tried to jump into rings. And at that point, it didn't work because I was trying to use my rings the way I used my bound books, except, put them in the same place. And so with my jumping back into my B4 thing, I tried to pick up the ring binders again to kind of see whether I could go back to this, because essentially these are loose leaf papers that are contained in a binder. I don't write while the papers are in the book. I take papers out, or sometimes I don't even put the papers in before I start writing. I take them out of the packet that they come in, and then I write and then put them in here once they're done. I started doing that and it did work a lot better, but the difference between the B4 and the A6 is the size. I can't really section an A6 as well as I would be able to section a B4, and so I decided to jump into A5 rings, which this I feel like would have been the perfect system. Is this in frame? So I decided to start using A5 rings, which worked really well. It worked not too well, but the lack of a structure, while it was a good thing, it was also a bad thing. And to kind of like show y'all, this is 4 months worth of writing, which was nice in theory, but my arm was not coping. I got to July and I was in constant pain. This was like May to August, for the record. This is the binder that I've been putting them in archiving them. This would have worked well if my arm wasn't like dying on me. Because quite honestly, I would sit on some days, I could sit and write 5 full pages, like just in one sitting. And that wasn't so helpful for my arm. And so September started and I was in constant pain, and I decided I'm gonna have to try something different. While I do love the ring system, I think I'm gonna keep this for just being a place for me to jump to whenever I feel overwhelmed and stressed, instead of trying to make this my regular system or like my main system. I'm not gonna stop using this for the record. I should probably mention that I am still gonna use this for like commonplacing and ephemera journaling, which I still am. I don't know if you can see the pink stuff at the side. Those are all ephemera journaling. If I do any deco journaling, like page that I did for my birthday, I have a video on that. I think I already mentioned that. Like those type of stuff, I am gonna continue keeping them in here. But for my everyday writing, it's just too... I don't have self-control. And that is the primary problem. And if I want to keep my arm, I think the solution to that would be to finding something that isn't like that doesn't give me so much freedom. So now we're back to this. Not so much these two. I haven't picked up this one in like a million years. This is still my long-term book. This is like I call it my everything notebook. My life plans are in here. Yeah, that's all I'll say. And so now we're back to this. This, I guess, again, inspired by Megan Rhiannon. A lot of my stuff are. I love her videos. Yeah. In one of her, is it Filofax info dump videos? One of them where she showed a page, like a spread, a weekly spread, and I tried it out in the rings, and I thought the layout was cool, and so I decided I will try them in this book. So, okay, hold on, let me take this out first. That is, y'all don't need to see that. This is just a photo that I got gifted. This photo makes me really happy, so I keep this in my notebook, but nobody needs to see this photo. Oh, I haven't even started writing for today. Today is the 9th of October. I should mention that. This is the first thing I'm doing. So, this is what I've been doing so far. I guess let me show y'all this up close. I don't know if y'all could see it, but there's like dots on the lines so that you can like section the notebooks, or like section the rectangle, the space that you have for each day. You can section it off into 3 sections for morning, afternoon, evening, I think. And like, I just draw a line down the second dot, because technically the first dot is right next to the date. I just section this down, and then on this side I write to-do list, and then on this side I kind of write like my, not really my thoughts. When I say I write my thoughts, I specifically mean my brain chatter. New discovery of this year, I do have ADHD, and specifically inattentive ADHD, and a lot of the hyperactivity happens in my brain, so my brain never shuts up, and that's why I have so much writing. Anyways, this section is more of like, this is what I want to do today, this is what I did today, this is how I feel today, that kind of stuff, and not really like my brain chatter. If anyone's wondering what this is, yesterday I was helping my mom make Children's Day gifts. Children's Day was last Friday, but I was making gifts for her students, and she wanted me to write this quote in Tamil. I haven't written in Tamil in like a million years, like since secondary school. Yeah. Nambike Varke, which is the rough translation of that is life is better when you believe in yourself, which fits really well with the goal of this week, which is to be kinder to myself because September hasn't been so great. And October didn't start off so great either, and I'm hoping it changes. This week has significantly been better than the past few weeks. Yeah, I'm not really gonna get into that, but I did not censor the previous page, so I'm gonna find a piece of paper for me to censor with. Or maybe I could just use this. Hold on. This is last week. I've also been using this grid section for more thoughts. This is a bit more of like my hyperfixation yapping. Currently, my hyperfixations have been notebooks because it's planner season and everybody's been posting planner videos, or at least content that shows up on my feed has been planner videos. Also, Peachtober. I am taking part in Peachtober. If you're not following me on my Instagrams, yes, plural, I have an art Instagram where I've been posting every single day for Peachtober, and as well as my main Instagram. I'll have both of their handles on screen. Do follow them. Yeah. Okay, so this has been this past week. Oh yeah. And this was the week before. I did go to the concert, Stray Kids concert, on 28th. That was the highlight of September, honestly. And this on days where I just don't have to-do list, I just... How do I explain this? So, as you can see, this has covered up the entire section for where I would write. And I didn't have any to-do list, so I wrote thoughts here. If there are any days where it's more thought-heavy and not doing heavy, I would probably also write here, which hasn't happened yet. And then the week before, this was before I started this little experiment. I say experiment, I think this is the system I'm going to use. But yeah, this is how it went. I guess I'm also going to blur the screen to show you guys how the daily logging went. I am gonna blur these all. So I did keep up with this until like February, I think, and then I started falling off. I did decorate these a lot with stickers. These were drawn. Perry the platypus! I did make a video on this.
You're a platypus! Perry the platypus!
These are also drawn. Oh, and this was when I got my ADHD diagnosis. And then stickers. I have this little this is a tag, technically. I hoard tags, and so I just use them as bookmarks. So this is here. This is... I should maybe mention, I am still daily logging. Daily logging is still a priority for me. I've just started doing it digitally, and I'll get to that in a bit. But this bookmark is here because I'm not done backlogging. So this is to remind me to... This is the page that I need to go back to. And this is when I stopped decorating, and this is when I started falling off. And this is when this was like my downhill era. This is when I started using the B4 notebooks. Notebook. Loose leaf papers. I don't really care about decorating as much, but like... Oh, you can see me really falling off here. I just wasn't having a great March. It's always March. It's always freaking March. Last March was horrible too. I hope next March will be better, but this is Oh, this was the point where I decided to jump into A5. And this was the last week that I daily logged in here, and I have this little washi tape tab thingy. I'm not going to show what's on the other side of this. So, oh, I guess I could show this. I have this amount of pages that I didn't use for anything, and so I started using those as like regular note paper for like random notes. I really love the paper. Muji paper is probably one of my favorite like paper textures, and so I have just been using this as regular paper. And then now I'm back in here. Oh, I gotta glue that down again. And then this. So did I show you guys my bullet journal at all, aside from? I guess I'll just flip through this. Kind of blurred. So this was the last page that I like proper bullet journaled. I don't know if I'm in frame. I really hope I am. And then I started using this as like a sticky note collection area. I started writing to-do lists on sticky notes, and then the to-do lists that were on sticky notes ended up in here. That's what happened. And then I started writing like, this was 29th September. When I started doing this little experiment, I stopped writing as much. I started typing though. I should probably also mention that. I have been like yapping away in my notes app, which I have been doing since like this. I was gonna say since the start of this year. Technically, that's not true. I've been doing this for like several years, but it used to be very sparse, and like now it's almost daily. But like usually when I wait for my bus, and if I'm on my bus ride to school and I have a lot of thoughts, I type them out. And since I'm trying not to wreck my arm by writing so much, I've decided to like just write everything digitally. But there are some days where I want to write on paper. That's where this came in. I started writing this a few days ago, last week. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep up with that. Like I mentioned, I really like Muji paper, and these grids are really light, and I like that. I prefer lighter grids compared to like darker grids. So I do think I'm gonna continue using this book for like writing thoughts or like heavier thoughts. Some of these are sad. Say that like I wrote a lot. Or like if I have a lot to yap about and I want to write on paper, I think I want to use this. I could also use this. I'm not gonna show the actual writing in here, but I might go back to using this for writing without the margins. I have been tagging, I've been using a tagging system, like I mentioned, but I think I'm gonna split my special interest tags and my everyday thoughts yapping tags. For my special interest stuff, I don't write about them as often. Usually I just write about them when I'm hyperfixating on them or like something comes up. I think I might keep that in this, along with commonplacing, along with other journaling, like deco journaling. And then keep like just thoughts in here. And then if I like dip into talking about special interests and stuff, I think I might rewrite them in here. Kind of. So I guess this is like a full circle moment of me going back to my old writing system where I didn't tag anything. I do tag stuff because one, I have horrible memory, and two, being able to see the tags kind of helps me know what I'm talking about. But most of the time it is just like pouring my brain out onto paper, and I don't think that really needs a tag. I'm justifying the system to myself more so than to y'all. So that's what I've been doing. And for daily logging, I've moved it to Notion. Notion is one of my really long-term archive places. I have been using Notion since like 2020, I think. I have so many like pages there. I don't look at everything often, but I do like having the stuff there. And the one thing that I have been like actively looking at is my daily log, which is why there's a bookmark in here. I am trying to backlog everything that's in here into that so I can have a full year in one place. Backlogging for me is important because I have shit memory, and being able to find everything in one place, like if I wanted to know what happened on a day, to be able to just quickly look at one space and find what I'm looking for is a lot easier than like digging through all of my notebooks. Yeah, and it is something that I do for my future self. Some days I do really don't want to backlog, and so I've started doing this every Sunday, where I sit down for like a couple hours and go through every single notebook and notes app stuff that I've written and just log whatever happened on a day. This is for my future self, because like I said, I have really horrible memory, and if you were to ask me what happened 2 years ago, I can't tell you. That's how bad my memory is. Yeah, so this, I guess you could also argue and say it's a little bit like backlogging, but this is more like not so personal thoughts. I did have some pretty personal thoughts on this week, which is why I covered that. And the paper that was over here that I covered, that was just like YouTube planning. I do write for ants, and you might not be able to read what I write, but I am paranoid that someone has really good eyesight or has the ability to zoom in and can read what I write, so just why I'm covering things up. This I really don't care if you'll read. If you can read it. Oh, I haven't updated my habit tracker either. I did do most of these. Anyways, is that it? Yes, my 2024 titles. I have combined those with my daily logs. I think I'll have a picture or like a video on screen where to visually show what I'm talking about. I have the date, and then I have the title next to it, and then in like the toggle thingy, I have a summary of the day. And then every week I fill that out. And then I'm trying to put all of the missing days that I didn't daily log into the Notion. I have been doing the Notion daily log since June, so that I think I'm mostly caught up. Yeah, I am kind of caught up on it, so I just have to like go back and log. I don't think this is an interesting video. I'm pretty sure this is pretty boring. Yeah, so that's how this year has been going. You know, if I actually figure out what I'm doing, I might eventually make a 2025 planner system video. If you're interested in me yapping about next year, stay tuned, I guess. So that is it for this video. I do hope to post once every 2 weeks. I am still trying to keep up with this schedule. I don't know how it's going. Yeah. If you've listened to me yap for this long, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I post once every 2 weeks, Saturdays, 10 p.m. Singapore time, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I think so. Do not quote me on that. It is 10 p.m. Singapore time though. Yeah, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and do check out other videos that I posted. I do have a few journal videos. I will leave a link to them in the description box. There are also other types of videos. I don't have like a specific kind of content that I make, although I think I'm gonna try to make more planner related content, maybe, if anyone's interested. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye! I'll start with my first system that I thought I would be in this video.